Alright. Oh, hello.
Was it from Amazon?
Alright. Alright, the sound is like kind of right. The only trouble is I forgot my weed. I came out of the house like at 11:30, like all geared up to like do a show, like a stand-up comedy on the street. And then I get here and I have no weed. Like I forgot my weed. Like I got my pipe and I got my lighters. I have like 3 lighters and 1 pipe and no weed. That's a success story. Luckily I'm on enough acid. I should be able to get by for like an hour. Like of sort of sobriety. Alright, I'm gonna put this in like in the recording pocket and then I'm gonna tell jokes. Oh man. So have you heard that tweakers have actually scrapped all the metal in Chernobyl? Do you know that? Like the real Russian tweakers have actually scrapped all the metal? Like, can you imagine how powerful those tweakers are now? Like, they're searching for neutral flavors for Sudafed. Like, just trying to find like things to mix Sudafed in, like flavors and stuff to hide it. Big fats. I mean, that's the power. When you really get into like the merchandising. It's the merchandising. You have to like get into the factories. When you can actually make a factory out of all the metal you scrapped from scrapping Chernobyl and turn it into something, that's when you really like making big strides in business. You know. I actually wanted to like scrap all the copper in Detroit Stadium for a long time. That was like a big thing I wanted to do. I want to be part of that contract, but then you just let Detroit Stadium survive because it's like, I don't know why. Why would they do that? They just want to hold on to all the copper. Wait for it to scrap. I should tell some jokes. Alright, so people keep telling me I live in a bad neighborhood because I live there. But it's not true. I actually live in a bad neighborhood because they sell heroin there. Thank you. That's not really a joke. I mean, actually they sell baseball bats at the liquor store. But I think that's a symptom of them selling heroin there. Like, that's just a side project. But it's only the small baseball bats. Like the ones you can hide in your jacket. Like those are the ones they sell. But they sell them for $17.99. They're Padres bats. I can't be louder than a white girl. It's impossible. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes. I'm doing stand-up comedy. If you want to listen, I'm doing an hour. So, oh man, I think marijuana is a gateway drug. I think marijuana is a gateway drug. It's a gateway for realizing your boss is an asshole. Thank you. That's a perfect joke for a bar and nobody gets it. I think nitrous oxide kills brain cells that get in the way of me having a great time. Did you know you can't test for nitrous oxide in a drug test? You can't test for it. Because it's like nitrogen is actually part of your urine. So they piss test you and you just piss out more nitrogen. If you're like addicted to like vapes or like huffing. No, nitrous oxide. I don't see how that could be an addiction, like nitrous oxide, but it is an addiction, you know. But in order to like test for it, they gotta give you an IQ test.
How you doing?
I'm actually telling jokes. Yeah, I'm on acid too, so it helps. The moon is like 3/4 full. Anyways, where was I at? Oh, nitrous oxide kills brain cells that get in the way of me having a great time. Yeah. That's like a classic joke, because it's true. But at the same time, they can't test for nitrous oxide. They actually have to give you an IQ test to let you know how much nitrous oxide you have in your system. Then they give you a job at the gas station. It's fucking crazy. I tell you. everybody. I'm Mike Coppolino, and I look like I smell. Yeah, I look like class. All right. I'm testing that one out, you know. Also, I'm wearing 2 shirts. I'm out of weed. I came out here on a cold night without weed. I forgot weed. I actually brought a pipe. This is terrible. This is how my life is going right now. Yet, I have to do a complete practice of jokes. Alright, I should just start telling jokes. So I think the Real Tide Pod Challenge is making them edible and also able to get out tough stains. Like, science should step in and, like, fix that. Like, somebody should be, like, spending a lot of money doing the research. Just to do it, because that's, like, important. You want non-toxic laundry detergent that's flavorful. That's what you want most of all. Like some people would. Oh, God. Hey, you know, you really got to be a scientist to do fentanyl, because you can't even see the drug. Like, that's fucking tough, right? I mean, it's easy to cut cocaine, but how hard is it to cut fentanyl? It's the truth. Like, how many grains are in a cut? You can't tell. It's like, that's fucking nuts. That's why I lick toads. That's totally why I lick toads. Because toads, if you drizzle fentanyl on them, they're dead. They're living drugs. So if you have a dead toad, you know it's probably laced with fentanyl. So you don't do it unless you're like stupid. Like you want to be part of the press. You want to be the first guy that does that. It's a creative way to kill yourself, actually.
Fentanyl on a toad?
Well, you drizzle the fentanyl on a toad, and then you say, I died from a fentanyl-laced toad.
Somebody poisoned mine.
Yeah. But the thing is, you have to be a real scientist about it, because you can't have a bunch of fentanyl laying around. Like you're drizzling a toad in your room, and then you like lick a toad and die of it.
You can't have fentanyl on the note that you leave.
Yeah. That would be terrible. Who's Huxley? Aldous Huxley. They gave him a bunch of acid when he died. You heard that, right? That's the truth.
The story, right?
Yeah.
On acid.
That's like a waste of acid, isn't it?
Yeah, that would suck.
It wouldn't suck.
Taking acid on an airplane.
It wouldn't suck. It'd just make you a really bad trip. I mean, you're already dying. How pretentious are you, Aldous Huxley? I'm going to do as much acid as I want before I die. It's a waste of, like, dying.
Eat your favorite meal.
He's trying to, like, be somebody, you know? He's dying right now. He just wants to avoid all of that with, like, this, like, grandiose thing that people can remember him by. Like, fuck him. Really? He wrote, like, 2 novels. That was it.
About meat and shit.
It was very good, though. Like, the novels are predicted, like, everything.
Alright.
So, I mean...
We're watching a movie in there, you know?
I know, I've seen that movie. So, it's very tragic. Especially all the acting. So that was part of... What was your name on the album, just so I know? Oh, that was a comic. Anyways, I have like a bunch of empty space right now because I'm doing acid. I've actually done acid over 250 times.
Oh, boy.
This year.
That's a lot of acid.
This year. I'm still on it. Like, acid doesn't even affect me. Like, acid just makes me sober. It makes me sober. It's like crazy. Like, I'll wake up every morning and think, oh great, the sky's exploding, how should I dress? Like, how can I fit jokes into casual conversations as people are strolling past and still be funny? Because these people are already under attack all the time. Like, they've already been on the media. It's already too late. Like, they feel attacked in real life, even though it's all virtual reality. So now they walk around, they all look the same. Like, I'm not going to be attacked, I'm anonymous. That's how social media works. That's the insidious part. Oh, man. You know, some people just aren't designed to be popular. That's a thing. That's a reality. Like, I'm wearing a very snazzy coat right now, and it's cold out, and I'm telling jokes to a tree. Like, people are walking around. I'm telling jokes to a tree. They're not interested at all. Like, they're already too drunk. Like, I actually usually do full comedy albums on the street. And the only audience I ever get when I do a complete comedy album is a bunch of schizophrenics. I get a bunch of schizophrenics that listen to me because they hear the microphone and they think their medication isn't working. Like they hear this sound that's exaggerated and they think, oh my God, this is the world, this is like the old times. And then they just cling to trees and telephone poles in front of me and they just have a psychotic episode. And this is my audience. This is like the audience I have to gear all my material to. So I have to tell jokes to them just to calm them down. Like, that's what I do. It's very therapeutic, almost. Like sometimes I get threatened. Ooh. You have to be able to talk to somebody for 5 minutes. Anyone. You have to be able to talk to them for 5 minutes. You have to time them out, though. Because once the 5 minutes is done, then they're up. Like, that's it. You got to move on to the next victim. That's how it should work. You can't be, like, trapped in a room with somebody that wants to tell you things. I mean, you got to be able to leave. I don't know, but that is what stand-up comedy is like. That's how you get paid. You're trapped in a room with people that you trust, and you expect them to be funny, so they tell you jokes, and then you laugh. But not really. Like, I mean, it can make you laugh all the time if I wanted to, but that's not interesting. Right? I could do whatever I want. That's the amount of time I have. Like, if I was getting paid to do comedy, and people were actually paying me like thousands of dollars, I could just drink a coffee cup. I'd just be on stage just drinking, you know? Like you'd be drinking, but you should be drinking more, or doing drugs. Imagine an entire audience just doing drugs. Like, that would be spectacular. Like, and you wouldn't even have to know what drugs they were on. You just gotta get all the violent ones out. You know, there's too much. Like, they can't handle it. Like they just feel like they're out of place with the world. That's the secret. They feel like they're popular because people listen to them. But then when they're not trapped in the room with them, I don't know what to think about it. I should just tell jokes. See, the trouble is, it's hard. Society is rough to be. It's rough to be funny. It really is rough to be funny. You almost feel guilty about it. I mean, you're in America. You feel guilty about being funny. Imagine being truly funny in America in these times. I mean, that would be ridiculous. You'd be totally broke. I mean, my goal in life right now, as a comedian, is to make it to 55. I want to make it to 55 years old so I can move into a trailer park. That's my goal. That's my goal in life. And I want a double wide, but I'm going to get a single wide. It's just going to be really long. It's going to be like a double wide in theory. It's just going to be a really obnoxious trailer park. Like the Dolly of trailer parks. Like, that's what it should be. Imagine that. Imagine if I had 5 acres of land and I just set up a bunch of trailers in it, and now I just wander around from trailer to trailer, like John Paul Getty, only just totally whacked. It'd be like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre all over again, except it would be a cult instead of like chilly. Like, people would just chill out. They get to be in a trailer somewhere, like for a second. Like, they gotta make rules. You gotta not die in the trailer. You can't melt in a trailer. You can't just do a bunch of needle drugs and die there, and then melt in a trailer and ruin it for everyone else. That would be like my thing. You have to like do that outside. Because that's gross. That's like a waste of capital, like, investment. To like melt yourself in a trailer and just ruin that trailer for people. I mean, I understand if you're old. Like, that's what I'm going to do. But to do it for fun and at everyone else's expense, I mean, that's the problem. That's the real problem with heroin or fentanyl. I mean, we've gone to fentanyl. We've been talking about fentanyl for a little bit. Like, that's not even heroin. That's so advanced. Like, you have to be a scientist. We've been talking, you have to be a scientist to do fentanyl. Like, you can't even see fentanyl, and people are selling it. Like, that's insane. And another comic his roommate just died. He's 25 years old. And he almost made it to the bathroom. Like, he almost made it to the bathroom to throw up, and he just died, like, feet away from the toilet. And they found him, he was cold. He's 25. He couldn't even pay the rent. Like, another audience member is going to have to move into that comic's house and, like, be a junkie, and, like, they have to get some information off of him so they can get some jokes. But they have no lives. Like, what can I tell you? Like, my life would be better if I had a bunch of trailer parks on 5 acres of land. Not that I would make money off these trailers. I would just restore these trailers. With help from the cult, I guess. And money from doing comedy. Didn't Ken Casey do this for a second? Like, he had like 40 acres. Ken Casey had 40 acres somewhere, and people had a bunch of alone time. Like, that's what happened. Like, that was the game. You can't have any alone time anymore, though, because if you're not on the internet, you're not anybody. So all these people that are like doing psychedelics now are all over the internet, broadcasting every moment of them doing psychedelics. It's ruining psychedelics for everyone, because all these people are stupid, but because they're taking a bunch of drugs, they think they're smart. But in reality, they just have a lot of money, so they can do drugs. They should give me money. You know, they should, but they can't, because people aren't subservient enough. That's how it is. You gotta be subservient to like a rich guy's ego in order to get anywhere in the world. Can you imagine that? Like, that's the fucking future you live in now? Like, you know, like $50,000, what is $50,000? Like, I could just make $50,000 just being here. I could be doing it right now. Can't make it all in one day, though. It's not like decorum or anything. Imagine that. Like, I just made $50,000 in one day. I'd feel guilty. I'd feel guilty about it. Knowing that another $50,000 is going to come in the next day, even more guilty. Like, what would I do with all that money? See, this is really a comedy show. This is a comedy album by Mike Coppolino. This is actually practice. So I should just, I'm going to drop in some stupid jokes and smart jokes. This is actually a routine. It's stupid and smart. You have to figure out which joke is a stupid one and which joke is a smart one. And I usually go with 5 jokes. You have to pick one out of the 5, but I always do like 8 jokes. So this is a routine, alright? Alright. So, have you heard William Shatner's? Do you know that William Shatner actually sings music? Captain Kirk actually has albums and is a musical genius. Well, it's true. I heard William Shatner's latest album is all covers. It was all covers. It's horrible. I mean, it's horrible, but it's William Shatner, so it's great. And this one song really pissed me off. It pissed me off. It was William Shatner's version of 8675309 by Tommy Two-Tone. Have you heard this song? Everyone's heard this song. Because 8675309, it has some like brilliant guitar parts in it. 8675309. Yeah, William Shatner covers that song. It's not very melodic. I'll tell you that. You know, William Shatner just keeps repeating the number until you get it. Yeah, he just keeps saying 86, 75,309 he died. 8,000,000, $675,000, $30.99, you know, 8,675, $399. I mean, just keep coming up with numbers. That should just be the name of the album, William Shatner's last album. Just keep coming up with numbers. Like, these are like brilliant jokes you're missing out on. Thank you. Oh, so I was talking to my financial planner the other day. Anyways, after going over the books, we decided my best option for retirement would be to take enough drugs to hallucinate a condominium. That's my goal. That was my financial planner's dream. I should take enough drugs to hallucinate a condominium. That way, I could sell the condominium, I could buy more drugs, and I could hallucinate a 3-bedroom house with a swimming pool. Yeah, and close to a good school. But the only trouble is, every time I meet this financial planner, we do all the drugs in his office is still a coffee shop. It's fucking nuts, you know? We keep doing his drugs, his office is still a coffee shop. It's just getting to be a worse and worse coffee shop. So I say, hey, we're businessmen. We know what we're doing. Why don't we just take enough drugs to hallucinate more drugs? We're businessmen. We can eliminate the middleman that way. That's how business is run. You know? He said you can't do that. Well, I did it anyways. And now I live in Greeley. Thank you. That's a meth-related joke. That's a joke about meth and financial planning. Hello, how are you? Oh. So they said the early bird gets the worm, but the meth bird stays awake. So who really gets the worm? Early birds are meth birds. Now, you know, it's actually the early bird that gets the worm because the meth bird is never hungry. All right. By the way, I'm practicing for an album called Jokes for Schizophrenics. These are practice jokes for an album called Jokes for Schizophrenics. I actually tell jokes for schizophrenics because I live with them. So, hi, how are you? So anyways, my schizophrenic roommate has a large collection of samurai swords. And he does realistic panelist illustrations of medieval castles. He's really schizophrenic, but he's super accurate. Anyways, I get home from work, and he's sitting in the living room blacking out dicks in a nudie magazine with a Sharpie. He's just blacking out a dick in a nudie magazine with a Sharpie, just going at it. And I stroll in from work, and the TV's already on, and Steve Harvey's on, so I'm watching Steve Harvey. I'm just watching Steve Harvey, like this is happening, and I don't care, because the rent's $200, and you can't beat that. Like, I'm just hiding out with a schizophrenic that has a large collection of samurai swords. I already know that everything in the house is safe as long as I don't have anything in the house. So I'm just sitting there watching Maury Povich or whatever, Steve Harvey. And I'm smoking a joint because that's what I do after work. And I was drinking a beer, competing with this guy for beers. And all of a sudden I hear this voice from behind me. I hear a voice from behind me. The voice says, oh damn. Like, oh damn. And in that situation, it's like the sanest thing I'd ever heard in the house. Like, it was a moment of self-realization. And this is coming from a guy that makes homemade bathmat sculptures for a living. Like, he makes homemade bathmat sculptures for a living because he's totally schizophrenic. And the only people that give him money are like people in death metal bands that want to exploit his cover art. So that's how he lives. He has a bunch of homemade bathmat sculptures all over the place that he sells for like $100 each. And there's a 6-foot-high Grim Reaper, full-size Grim Reaper, hanging from the living room chandelier. And we just walked by that pretending not to notice while we pay rent. Like, that's also going on in this schizophrenic's house. He owns the house. I mean, that's how I can afford the rent. But But anyways, he just says, oh damn. He says, oh damn. That's the sanest thing I ever heard in the house. So I turn around and look back at him, and he's been blacking out a dick in a nudie magazine for 4 hours. I didn't know it. Like, he just can't get Asian lesbian porn. He can't get it, because he doesn't have a job, because he's schizophrenic. And Asian lesbian porn is like $40. So he keeps getting all this penny saver porn that's like newsprint quality, and he alters it to suit his fantasy. So he gets a bunch of stuff that has Asians in it, and they're having sex, but it's newsprint quality, but in the form of magazines. And this is the stuff he gets. So he's blacking out this dick. Unbeknownst to him, he blacked through the entire magazine. Like, I got to witness all of that, like, ahead of time. Like, when I saw him turn the next page and say, oh, damn again. Because he turned the page in a nudie magazine and he blacked this dick so obsessively that he blacked through it onto the next page. And then he turned another page and he said, oh, damn again. And that was like crazy. So, and I was trying not to laugh because there's a bunch of like swords all over the place. And he can kill somebody. He's like 45. And he hasn't killed anybody yet, as far as I know. But he's 45, and he has a large collection of swords. So I don't laugh. I don't laugh at what's going on. Instead, I look around and I say, hey, just calm down, just relax, because he's getting super pissed off. And just relax. Just do what everyone else does. Just imagine it's your dick in the nudie magazine, and you're having sex with all these beautiful women. Because, you know, that's what everyone else does, right? You know, like I would know, you know, but obviously he gets super pissed off. I didn't think he was going to get pissed off. I was just trying to enjoy my peace in this house. Like, just get a moment of peace. I'm just coming home from work. Just stop it already, you know? Just stop it. I didn't say any of that because I'm sober. So he gets pissed off. And in a schizophrenically creative way, he kicks his chair out from behind him. And he looms up over me, and he screams, I'm not fucking gay, bro. But it's super loud, like really loud, like passionately. And then he reaches over me, and he turns the Def Leppard all the way up to 11. He turns Def Leppard up. Def Leppard's been playing the entire time this has been going on. Well, this whole scene is going on. It's like we're on. It's just. It's on vinyl. It's Def Leppard on vinyl. He's listening to Def Leppard on vinyl for like hours. He's schizophrenic. So he does this. He turns it all the way up to 11, and he stands in front of the speaker with his fucking parachute pants all like blowing around and like the sound of it. With his slick hair, all tense. And I realize I have a terrible problem. I do. I have a terrible problem. I have to like, do something about this. So I get up out of my chair, and I go to my room, and I shut the door, and I just climb through the window, very gracefully, you know. Not very gracefully, but, and now I'm here. And that's the end of that joke. That joke is actually 5 years old. Can you imagine that? Like, I just told that joke. That joke is like 5 years old. Maybe it's 4 years old. I told that in front of audiences at open mics, and nobody would get it. Like, nobody could possibly get it, because open mics are filled with comics, so they can't possibly get those jokes. Ugh. Man, I'm not a real professional comic. I'm not. Because I don't have any bestiality jokes. I don't have any bestiality. I don't have any jokes about animal fucking. I don't. I can't just say jokes about animal fucking in a small room and get people to laugh at it. Like, it's impossible. I can't be that professional. However, I'm an artist. So I do know a guy with a set of ivory butt plugs. I know a real person with a set of ivory butt plugs. It's actually like, it's not even like elephant ivory. It's walrus ivory. He has walrus ivory butt plugs. And they're on a string. There's a hole in the butt plugs, and they're on like a leather strap that's also 150 years old. And what's the point of this? Like, how funny is that? But you can't really say anything, you know? Anyways, the ivory's ethical. Just so you're not like all freaking out. Like, that ivory is ethical. The ivory's over 150 years old. You know, so it's grandfathered in. Alright, thank you. People say the hardest thing about being in the Illuminati is pretending you're not at the meetings. That's actually not true. The hardest thing about being in the Illuminati is staring at Iggy Azalea's ass and making sure it stays important. Actually, that's the laziest thing about being in the Illuminati. That's the laziest thing. The hardest thing about being in the Illuminati is listening to conspiracy theories long enough to get blamed for them. Like, that's the worst part. You have to know all this information and really know it, but it's just, oh man, it's sickening. Like, really the hardest thing about being in the Illuminati is having a nervous system. It's the hardest thing because of all the drugs. Like, the amount of drugs you have to do to like do all that, like, you have to be totally crazy to like be in the Illuminati, and stupid. So stupid. It's like ridiculously stupid to be in the Illuminati. Like, I have to make up things all the time. Like, I had to make up a scheme where I make junkies believe that smoking bed bugs will get them high. That was my scheme. To make junkies believe that smoking bed bugs will get them high if they're already junkies and these bed bugs have feasted on them. Because there's no shortage of like bed bugs around a true junkie, you know? And eventually, these junkies are going to run out of heroin. And when they run out of heroin, they're going to come up with bright ideas. Or they're going to have bright ideas. And smoking bed bugs will actually get you high if you're a junkie. Because they store all the heroin that they suck off your blood in their exoskeletons. And they have very small exoskeletons because you know, like fucking like bed bugs, they're super small. So they store all this stuff and concentrate it, and you can smoke bed bugs, and it'll give you like enough heroin to get through the day. If you're like a super junkie, and you have a lot of bed bugs. You have to have a lot of bed bugs, you have to smoke a lot of bed bugs. And this was my scheme to get junkies to clean up their own shit. Like, clean up their own bed bugs for once. Like, find a way to scrape them all together and, like, clean your apartments. None of that will work. I mean, that's a great scheme, but a real junkie is just going to do more heroin. You gotta find somebody who does oxy, you know, and steals oxy from their grandmother. Like, you gotta find people like that, and then you gotta convince them that smoking bed bugs will get you high. You know, if you're a junkie. And then they start palling around with junkies and smoking all their bed bugs. Because they can't get any more oxy. And junkies aren't gonna give them any, like, free drugs. So you have to sit there and, like, smoke bed bugs. And that's what you get for your oxy addiction. Like, now that they caught everyone. That's fucked up, isn't it? That's really fucked up. Like, people that are hooked on oxy have to, like, be cured of, like, oxy, and it's not their fault. It's, like, not their fault they're junkies. They were just prescribed this, and now they're junkies. Ugh. Like, how much money can you give that person? Does it even matter? Does it even matter? Ugh. Anyways, that's an idea for me. But, you know, maybe there's other ideas too. I actually want to make an athlete's foot medication that has nicotine in it. An athlete's foot medication with nicotine in it. Because it takes 2 weeks to cure athlete's foot. And anyone with athlete's foot has a lousy work ethic. So they never completely get cured of athlete's foot. But if you put nicotine in the athlete's foot medication, all these people that used to have, like, smoking problems could just get addicted to having clean feet. And it'd fix all their athlete's foot problems. They'd be a lot happier if there was nicotine in the athlete's foot medication. Anyone could do that. Anyone could make that happen. All you have to do is like actually have like a tube with something on it. Like saying that this is what it does. Get addicted to having clean feet. $9.95. And that'd be it. I'd be a millionaire already. I'd be making $50,000 a day just off that. Instead I'm out here like doing jokes. Like, that's fucking stupid. Can you imagine if I had money? Like, that'd be insane. I already dress well. I dress well for cheap. Imagine that? Like, actually me having money. I'd make my own movies or something. That'd be ridiculous. With the amount of time I had left. Jeez. And all this technology around me. But I can't because I'm stupid. No, I can't because everyone else is already doing it, so I can't possibly do it. That's the real secret. Like, if I was actually successful at it, everyone would be unbearable. Like, everyone in the world would just be totally unbearable. Because I was successful at what I was doing. Like, I was making money off of this. Like, talking to trees out in, like, the forest. Not even talking to trees. I'm talking to a tree in a city while I'm telling jokes. To no audience. But this is all practice, right? This is like practice for comedy albums. Also, if the sound has changed in my performance, it's because I'm using a coffee cup. This is something I learned like about like the 13th or 12th performance, is that I'm always going out and drinking coffee while I'm on drugs and doing jokes. And it's like those wine glasses, you know, you can like, if you have an amount of fluid in there, that's like you just keep drinking coffee, and you talk into the coffee cup, it changes your pitch. So you can actually like do like a microphone out of like natural sound. But this is something I learned while I was like doing comedy on the street. You know, I have to like to make the best of this situation and these recordings. Like, I don't even know how good this sound is. Like, nobody's checking these levels right now. Even though I've like been on radio and stuff, I know what the levels are. I'm actually pretty sure the sound is good. I don't even know if I'm recording though. First off, let me even see if I'm recording this, because you know, I forgot my weed, so I know I'm fallible. I'm actually searching for my phone right now while I'm actually doing comedy. Let me tell some more jokes. Oh, smart jokes. I was on smart jokes. So, you know, getting Divine to eat a warm dog turd in the movie Pink Flamingos, it's not the worst thing John Waters ever did. It's not the worst thing. I learned this in film school. Yeah, actually, the worst thing John Waters ever did happened 2 minutes after that. 2 minutes after that scene, when he said, "Damn, there's no film in this camera, let's reshoot." Oh. That's film history for you. Alright. Oh, I have to tell smart jokes. I'm sorry. I'm telling smart jokes. So, have you heard that, I don't know if you hear the news. I don't know if you hear news. But sometimes I think the news is fake because people are holograms. I do a lot of drugs. So, I don't know. But sometimes I look at the news and the news is trending or something. I think this news is tailored for me. I should be like less responsible for the news. I should be less responsible. Like, because this news is trending for me. This is the news that's popular to me. I get this news story like, woman beats man for not doing housework. Like, that's the news? That's the top news? That's like, I'm not buying enough shit on Amazon. That's the news. That's the news I'm getting. You know? I saw this news story where this man was in Alabama, and he wandered into a stream, and he caught a trout with his live hands, with his hands. He caught a trout, and he swallowed the trout. He swallowed the trout, but he made the news because he died that way. That's the only way he made the news. He died choking to death on a fucking trout. He couldn't pull it out. What kind of news is that? The news is not all people are pelicans. That's the news for me. That's the type of news I get. I wish news was like that all the time. I mean, there's so many possibilities in the world. There's like juggalos right now that are having sex. They're not even taking their makeup off. Like, there's two people in the world just doing that and enjoying it. Oh, hello. Would you like to hear a real joke? Oh, you're a crowd. Oh, man. Where is a real joke, anyways? I've actually been, like, telling jokes for a bit. I don't even know if I'm recording. I don't even know where my phone is. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, I have merchandise, too. Would you like to buy some merch? I have joke books. They're $2 each. Do you have $2? You're on a bike. It could be in the back of your toilet. It could be the greatest thing you ever seen. It's $2. How are you? No. 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 Here. Would you like to hear a joke book? Alright. I thought he was laughing at me, but he's just laughing at the world. Alright. So I'm a life coach. I am a life coach, you know, because anyone can be a life coach. It's easy, you know. You just gotta charge people $60. That's the easiest thing about being a life coach. You just gotta charge a person $60. And they gotta show up at your house, and you gotta have a patio. That's it. You gotta have a patio. You can charge $60 an hour. Anyways, whenever I get a new victim, I'm gonna save you from actually like paying me $60. When I get a new victim of life coaching, I tell them, this is my advice to give them. Hey, I say, hey, the only thing worse than failure is listening to someone tell you how to be better at it. And then they give me money. That's the first session. And then everything else after that, they know is like good information. Like, they're willing to like drive to my house and listen to it. Like, actually the $60 they give me is about the same price as all the gas they put in their cars or their plane tickets. Like, can you imagine, like, people like have to fly out just so they could see me as a life coach? Like, the amount of time I don't have enough time for this. I only take like 3 clients like a day. It's $180. It's fucking nuts. You can't even know about this. You can't even know I'm doing this. Anyways, let me give you some free advice. I usually like give people free advice while I'm on stage because it's like advertising to like really make money someday. But here's the thing. A good thing about life coaching. Good advice. All right. First thing, if you're gonna smoke crack, make sure you do it in a bathtub too shallow to drown in. That's my first advice I would give somebody. Like, if you're on the streets listening to this album of Schizophrenia or whatever, I don't even know what I've said so far. I don't even know if I've recorded anything. Like, this is just a practice for another album. This is supposed to be special though, because it's the 21st recording. It's the 21st recording of the album. So there's like, so I've done a lot of acid. I've actually interacted with a few comics. like on the street, while this has been going on. I don't even know if they thought it was funny. Like, how could they think this is possibly funny? Like, it's so sad, really. I don't know, how much time do I have left? Anyways, I've been hitting a lot of open mics. Like, for a year in Denver. I'm hitting a lot of open mics. I know it's probably been an hour. It's been like 50 minutes I've been doing jokes. I don't even know if I've recorded that long. I'm just looking at the time. Like, I got here at 11:40. I started thinking about doing an album. And then I probably started at midnight. It's 12:33. That's enough of a practice session already. Like, you have, like, you know what's going on. Like, you get it. I've been doing open mics in Denver for a year. Like, open mics. But I always go on last. Or sort of last. It's very weird. I don't know. I think people are allergic to money. People think they're going to be successes someday. Oh my gosh. Just because they do it. I mean, you got to be funny. You got to be funny, and it's not just like on stage. Like, you got to be funny all the time. Like, you actually had to be funny before you even got on stage. Now you're just doing a bunch of, like, cocaine or something. So I'm tired of control. I don't know if that's a joke. I'm just tired of control. So I'm going to start, like, booking shows, but they'll be, like, midnight shows, because it's going to get cold. I'm already setting up rooms. Like, I'm going to have 2 rooms going, like, this winter. Maybe 3. And they'll be well-respected. They'll be well-respected rooms. And that's it, pretty much. You're not my friends. Like, I'm in business. Like, I'm in this to make money. I will still occasionally show up at your open mics, but this is pretty much it. Like, this is the kiss-off. You gotta start shoveling me cash. You know, winter's coming. You know, they have said that enough times. Winter is coming, winter is here. You're about to get fucked up. So pay attention. Anyway, should I do a closer? I mean, I should do a closer also. On top of the threats, let me do a closer, alright? I'll do something classic. Like, I'll do another, like, 5 or 10 minutes of classic jokes. And then I'll get off the stage and go to sleep. Because I have 2 more shows I have to do. Friday and Saturday. So these are practice sessions 21, 22, and 23 for the album Jokes for Schizophrenics. But, oh, God. Let me stop being so serious for a moment and just tell you a joke. Alright? But I gotta tell something funny. So anyways, my new fetish is looking suspicious. It's super easy. It's like the easiest fetish in the world. It's the laziest fetish, the easiest fetish. Like, I don't want to work. So, yeah, thank you already. I mean, thank you already. I've been doing this for I've been doing street comedy for 4 years. Thank you. Yeah. But sometimes I actually work at my fetish. Sometimes I work at it. You know? Like, whenever I go to the airport, I just wear a turban. I just walk around the airport with a turban and a huge boner. Because this is America. You know? Sometimes when I see the cops, I just run the opposite direction. But then they catch me because it's hard to run when you're jerking off. Thank you. That was a funny joke. Like, if I had a job in my jokes, I would train drug-sniffing dogs for a living. And I would just be the bait. Like, that would be the best. That would be the best job in the world. Like, 99% of the time, I would just have bacon in my pockets. And then 1% of the time, I would have drugs in my pockets. And these dogs would have to pass the test. And that's how I would train drug-sniffing dogs for a living. But I wouldn't train them for the cops. I just train them to look at people's shoes to let me know who the cops are. You know, because I have extra drugs. And dogs have like extra sensory perception. Like beyond what we know. Like they can smell fentanyl. They can smell how big the dose is. They don't die of it, but you know. That's why you have a bunch of spare dogs around. Oh. God. See, I'm ruining all these jokes by being funny. That's the problem with being funny. Anyways. So me and my girlfriend got into a huge argument because we're Italian. Yeah, it's fucking horrible. It was the worst argument ever. Yeah, I was sitting on the toilet to start it. I'm already vulnerable. It's like, you might as well start an argument with me in the shower, you know? But I'm in the toilet. I'm just sitting there reading before I go to work. It's 6:30 in the morning. And she's been saving up for something. She's been saving up for it. Because she kicks the fucking door in, and she starts waving
This is hers now.
a dead electric razor in my face. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. But, yeah, she starts waving a dead electric razor in my face. And she says, hey, there's a thick hair in here. And it's not my hair. You broke my fucking personal grooming tools. You broke my Lady Narogo. That's what she's saying to me. And she said, I don't know. I got insulted. I'm sorry. Like somebody just strolled up and gave me free donuts. And they're just all glazed donuts. I was hungry. I could have gotten those out of a dumpster. Like in earlier times, I would have gotten these donuts out of a dumpster. I would have waited at 3 o'clock in the morning for Winchell's to close, and then the guy would come out with all the donuts that he wouldn't sell, and then there would be a bunch of tweakers there waiting for donuts. And I could have been one of these people. But now, I feel guilty because there's 6 donuts in front of me and they're all glazed. Like I should be a homeless person. That's what it actually said to me. I should be a homeless person. But it was an act of kindness. Oh man, these jokes. Aren't these jokes terrible? Like these are the worst fucking jokes imaginable. Alright. Oh Lord. I have to look at the world. That's the joke. I'm already on acid. I've done acid. I did a hit and a half before I left the house, and then I forgot my fucking weed. Oh my God. This is how life is going. Anyways, let me see what the album looks like. It's like 50 minutes, so I'm gonna stop. Like that was great. Wasn't that? That was just a big slice of life. Anyways, I have 2 shows coming up. I'm gonna start doing midnight shows, hopefully at the Mutiny Café. And I don't know. There's a small theater, like in the middle of this block, that just opened up, and they look like they might have like stuff going on. Like I probably could just wander in there and do an hour. So I'm gonna suggest to them that I wander in there and do an hour at midnight, like some night. And then they will do that because they're a theater, and that's what'll happen. And maybe I'll get like $70 out of it because that's how Broadway is run. Like that's how things get done in New York. Why can't that be done here? Is nobody interesting enough? I think some people are interesting enough, and they should have shows. So there'll be 2 midnight shows going on this winter, and we'll find out what sort of advertising we can possibly have for these shows. But I'm going to run them sleazy, like a cruise ship, like the late night cruise ship comedy, like the stuff you get at the end of the night when everybody's gone to bed, but everyone's still doing drugs because they're locked on a boat in international waters still. So whatever the fuck the Love Boat is, I mean, it's probably because of all the suicides. Anyways, can you imagine how many people go missing on the Love Boat? They go for the cruise, and then they're like 10 light when they're like done with the cruise. The whole show is like that. That should be like the rest of the show, like the Love Boat. Like all these people that like have meaningful lives on the Love Boat, and then the 10 people that kill themselves like every time they go out. That must be a terrible company secret. Anyways, that's been my time. That's been actually pretty funny. I've been Mike Coppolino. Have a great night. Enjoy whatever you're doing.